Hi, my name is Melonius Thunk, and this is my story. I was born in the streets of Wichita, Kansas, but moved to Topeka with my aunt when I was 6 years old to get away from the alcoholic mom and drug-dealing dad. It was me, my aunt, and my sister. I was really young at the time, so I only remember the stories that my aunt tells me now. At the age of 7, I started getting really bad coughing in my lungs. My aunt took me to the doctor, and he found out that I actually had something bad. Every day I went to school thinking that somebody would notice my cough as something more than just a regular common day cold. But there was nothing common about it, and each day was just a cold. After many tests at the hospital, they noticed that the food I ate was getting stuck behind my breastbone, and they diagnosed me with gastro reflux disease. GERD was short. It was then that the doctor told me that I won't be able to live past 25. I said, "Oh my GERD." Get it like, "Oh my God." Haha. We had some laughs, but in all seriousness, I have very devastating disease. Everyone in the room was crying, and I remember being really, really sad. The next 3 weeks, I just went to school thinking if I just try to live a normal life, I would be able to forget about my abnormal one. I turned to drugs to cope with my disease. What I saw was astonishing. I was started getting into some bad stuff because of the time I was thinking, hey, what's there to lose? Sometimes after school I would tell my aunt that I was staying for extra math help, but really I was staying for extra meth help. One day, I did this stuff, the smoking, the crystal meth. I just don't really get home at a usual time, so my aunt started to worry about me. That's when I heard the news that my aunt died by 9/11. It was devastating to say the least, so I started doing crystal meth. So it was just me and my sister, but even she was so far removed from my everyday life that I felt like I never knew her. So she turned to crystal meth.
So here I was, stuck in this crazy world of drugs with just me and my little sister. And with the death of my aunt, I had reached new heights. So I started doing crystal meth. I had to reach new heights, so I took my life to the Big Apple. I tried to replace my drug-abusing life with an aspiring one, but I wake up on my first day here, and luck has it, I don't have any thumbs. So I wondered, why? Where am I going to find a job that would hire me now? So I started doing crystal meth. But that's when I decided, no, I must be clean. I registered for a local rehabilitation center. "Room for one, please," I jokingly said. Haha. We had some laughs, but in all seriousness, I have a very devastating condition. I found connections, I met a girl, things slowly started to clear up. I asked the girl her name, she didn't answer. Turns out I have a severe case of schizophrenia. There wasn't even a girl in the whole building, and still, I had no thumbs. How do you like them apples? Anywho, I eventually left the rehab, and as I left the drugs, I found God. But then I lost him, and I didn't know where I'd put him last. I was devastated. So I started doing crystal meth. But that's when I realized I was never in New York City. I realized I somehow went back to Wichita instead. I haven't seen my sister in 4 years. But I digress. The important thing is, I moved on. But that's when the nightmares appeared. I couldn't sleep at night because I kept getting nightmares. But then I started liking the nightmares, so I became addicted to sleeping pills. That's when I realized when I had these so-called nightmares, I was actually awake just doing more crystal meth. And then the sleeping pills. Just another way to say, I have lymphoma. You may think that I'm depressed from all these tragedies, but the truth is, I'm really just growing up to growing up. I still continue to move on to tell people my story, except for the chronic masturbation. Yeah, I usually leave that out. But that's when I realized it was all a dream. I still do meth though. So, yes, I'm gonna die, but Jesus is with me, so I'm alright.